then what will you see later on? I mean, I told myself that I will do in the beginning of this year. I will have to do a lot of work this winter, spring, to perhaps have it a little bit easier for like later on. I mean, maybe it's a more relaxed summer, but I doubt it. I mean, at least not maybe work 10, 11, 12, up to 15 hours per day. That's what I want to avoid for the summer. Because when the summer comes and restrictions is gone and hopefully it's not coming back, it's enough. I had enough with it. We all had enough with it. If everything's fine with that, I mean, then I would like to do a lot of, maybe do a trip or do just more social activities and enjoy the summer, but I have things coming up, so, and I'm not really just able to speak on them right now, not due to some kind of, what should I say, some kind of classified reason or whatnot. It's classified information. No, it's not that. It's the way I am, basically, and I have no problem with just sharing my news later on. I'm gonna write an article, pretty sure I'm going to write an article about how news makes me feel stupid. And let me tell you why. All the news I'm following, it's always these perspectives, and there's this person, this expert saying this, and some people agree with that. There's another perspective. I mean, the whole news climate right now, it's so polarized, and no, somebody's always gonna be an idiot. Somebody's always gonna be Mr. Right. I have to say that the news I'm getting most out of, and to some degree I feel I want to get out of that as well, but that's actually alternative sources of information. Let me tell you, like Russell Brand, for example. I think he says a lot of good things, and he kind of put events, situations, occurrences, he wrapped them up very well and present them, and he's quite funny. I think I brought him up in others channel as well, in another channel, in another video. And I also feel what's the Rubin report, also saw something there the other day which was extremely interesting, and it sounds like it's the same with Joe Rogan also. It's sometime I watch him, I'm not following like every episode or something like that with none of these guys I mentioned, with none of them, but it feels like when they are bringing in people that you want to interview, they feel like they have a lot of interesting things and perspectives they bring up, which I don't hear anywhere else, and they speak to me. And I'm not saying that I agree with everything, I'm just saying that why would somebody somebody that have like millions of followers, maybe more than some established news media outlets, why would they invite somebody that have not something of honesty to say? It's like they would not have no chance to get into a normal news channel, because they just silence them. I mean, there's so much to say about this. Just look at what's going on in Canada, Austria, Australia, with the whole thing. For example, that's gone too far, and some people are just don't question it. But those people I'm listening to, they have questioned it. And I'm not saying, for example, the prime minister or whatever he is of Canada, how can he call the truckers white supremacists or whatever he said, something similar like that? Like they would be a small group trying to destroy for normal people. How can you go out and say that when you see, I mean, I have it in front of me here, it's literally, I don't know, tens of thousands of people gathering together outside the Parliament Hill in Ottawa. And they are for peace. They are all about, and this is just one example, I mean, there's so many things happening. Why was it okay when a group or a campaign in after, I'm not gonna mention too much, but in around May 2020 just did all looting, destroying, just terrorizing the streets of big cities in the US? How can that be accepted? Something is just not right about this. Something is just terribly wrong about how, like, mainstream media is gathering together with some source of power to accept an agenda, to accept a certain narrative, to accept a certain opinions, accept a certain experts, and call everybody else or alternative sources of information and hosts, just like Joe Rogan, for instance. The whole thing that's been going on between him and Spotify now, for example. How come they're becoming such a, hey, what do you call that? How come it could be so much hatred against him? From my perspective, an extremely open, interested person to listen what other people have to say. Other people that are legitimate experts in their field of profession. It's just I feel like I have to write an article about how listening to news makes me literally feel stupid. It's just this, I'm trying to question, but that's difficult to do. Sometimes you are so absorbed by what you're listening or what you're reading, you don't question the source of information or the angle they put on it. Especially if you only read like a couple newspapers daily. It just doesn't get to you, like how deep they are into you, you know. How they got to you so deep, you know, so you don't question other kind of information. So I just start to feel that I'm trying to watch all kinds of medias, all different sources, and just hear like tone, the choices of the words, the choices of expressions. But you can't always review everything. That's impossible, obviously. But one thing for certain is that I feel mainstream media is making me feel stupid. Just from all and I just need to find more examples. That's what I had some examples the other day, but just everybody's gonna be an expert. Everybody's gonna shout loud. Everybody's gonna seem to have the right answer. Yeah. And then the other thing, which is I wanted to bring up about what's going on in Ukraine and Russian border. The fact that they they already did bring home the employees at the US embassy. I believe they brought home people, or they actually went out to say, foreign minister, to call home Swedish, Danish, I think Israel also, yeah. A lot of people, a lot of foreign ministries of governments went out to say to their national members in Ukraine to pack your bags and get out of there. I mean, that, for a few weeks ago, I knew it was getting serious there, but now, as they say something like that, that is just like a sign that it's gonna happen in the coming days. It's coming together real ugly. I mean, the things are in fact about to hit the fan there. And what I listened to today is that probably Russia is going to start with flight attacks and bomb attacks, and then invade with troops. And it's gonna be ugly. It's going, and I can't believe this is happening in 2022. After all the war we've had in the past in Europe and in the world. This guy, Putin, he must be absolutely insane. Without me being knowledgeable enough, I have studied quite a bit of geopolitics, and also governmental regimes, and also it's international law. Okay, it's not more, okay. Which was quite interesting actually. It's a law how you are allowed to make war with each other. Obviously we know by now that when Russia went into took Crimea, it's absolutely not allowed to interfere with the sovereign politics. I mean, a country's sovereign politics and their own foreign politics, they are sovereign, you know. You can't interfere, just get in there and to take over like that. It's against the international law. What did I want to say? I mean, it looks like it's happening, and he must be batshit crazy, out of his mind, Putin, to want to go into a country, sovereign country, and try, it's going to be so bad, and just take and destroy normal people's livelihood, trying to do something beautiful with their lives, trying to live well, trying to create, trying to live in peace with their, and raise their children. And he's a warmonger. Yeah, I felt like I had to do a little longer video here, hope you don't mind. It may have to be in 2 parts, but that should be okay. So anyway, thank you for listening, and hope to see you soon, alright? Bye, Tom out. See you guys, take care.